Hey guys, LunarTzuyu here, also known as Mossman. Today I'm here to give you a review of the new story content in Epic 7, referred to as an Elegy for a Dying Flame. This is the most newly released story content, and I think it's quite a thrilling and gripping story update, if I do say so myself, um, for a lot of players that don't really interact with the PvP content for Epic 7. Things like story updates are what they want. They want to see, these new characters interact, and this is how they're able to kind of develop a connection to the new heroes in Epic 7. And that's how they decide to summon for these characters. It's important to see them featured in the story, for them to really feel their sense of purpose and like develop a connection to these characters. And for me personally, I do think that this analogy for a dying flame is personally my favorite and the highest quality story content that I've witnessed in Epic 7 since my own favorite side story, which would be the Eulogy of a Saint, which is funnily involving the Water DN, while this one is about the Shepherd of the Dark DN. So to give a quick summary, this side story is kind of about an alternate version of events where instead of the Saint Diane that we see, she's actually just a shepherd girl who develops a connection with this black wolf in a forest that was originally wounded. Um, and basically, her journey towards this world tree is kind of how the story follows. While we also meet another character named Aki, who is the Flame Inheritor. But I think something that kind of is shared, like elements between this story and the one I mentioned earlier, Elegy with Saint, they both kind of explore these themes of sacrifice and duty and the consequences that occur from these key events that happen throughout the story. And while I don't want to give spoilers, I will say that it's definitely a more somber and tragic tone to this story. Um, I mean, that's kind of the consequence of any stories we know that take place before, the seventh world, because we know how all those worlds ended up due to the overall narrative of Epic 7. But even though we know how they'll end, it's kind of the journey more than the destination that really matters when we are reading through and interacting with the story. But yeah, the narrative, like I mentioned, is kind of melancholic in nature. It's pretty bittersweet. It's definitely about loss and kind of the struggle to maintain hope even in the face of despair. But I did really enjoy it. I mean, there's some great high quality animation. I think that's something that's definitely improved a lot since the beginning of the game. And I think the storytelling is pretty emotional, even though some of it I expected, because, I mean, there's not really much you can do with these characters knowing, how they'll turn out. Um, but yeah, honestly, I did really enjoy the story content. I think Diane was a good character, and I liked Aki a lot too. And I'm really excited to see the new Iseria's release because I think her character design is really great. I honestly really like all of the character designs in this side episode. Um, I personally like it a lot more than the aesthetic of like the academy that we had previously with like Lua and Dark Aiden. Um, but yeah, I did think this side story is really great. I did like the voice acting and honestly the storytelling. I think is something that we haven't really seen this quality of in a while. So I'm very happy for that. I'm looking forward to more story updates in the future, and I hope you guys do as well. But yeah, this has been LunarTzuyu, and I'll talk to you guys next time.